So after years of waiting, Stranger Things season 5 has finally come to an end. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it worth the wait? Let's talk about it. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to check out my review of the final season, season 5 of Stranger Things. I know it's been a while since I've been on here and I've uploaded a review video, but last few months, me and my wife have been moving into our new house. And as you can see, I'm in a new location and it took me a while to get all this set up. I will be putting out a video showing all of my horror collection, but anyway, I'm back ready to rock and roll, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to discuss the final chapter of Stranger Things. And alongside with me, my brother Chris.
Hello, hello.
He's a huge fan of Stranger Things, and there's been so many mixed reviews on this season, on the season finale, that I want to hear each and every one of you guys and gals' take on it in the comments. Let me know if you dug the season, if you liked the season finale. What was your positives and your negatives on the entire season? But let's go ahead and get into it. Overall, I will say that I did like this season.
Yeah.
Just like any other TV series, there's always going to be seasons that you like more than the other. Doesn't mean that they're bad. Perfect example, Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
There's not a bad season in Breaking Bad, but there are some that you like more than others. Your 4 is your favorite?
Season 4.
And I know this is a small thing, but Ash vs. Evil Dead. Not a bad season at all.
No.
But there's seasons that I like. I will go on record and say that this season is my least favorite of the 5 seasons that we got from Stranger Things. And that's not a knock on it. It's just there's things that I prefer that I didn't feel like we really got in this season. But I know I've seen a lot of people saying that this was the Game of Thrones ending all over again.
No.
Well, I've never seen Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
so I can't vouch for that. I don't know, but
no, it's just your typical internet people looking for something to piss and moan about, basically. Like you said, it had its flaws.
Mm-hmm.
It did. I'm sure we'll discuss some of them, but
yeah,
it was nowhere near Game of Thrones.
Well, and the thing is I do want to discuss the season overall, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with my negatives of the season. My negatives of this season, why it's my least favorite, is the number one reason is what is up with all the GDs.
Yeah.
I noticed that they've said it a few times in the last 4 seasons, but this one really pushed it for me. And if you're a follower of mine on YouTube, you know that I don't cuss in my videos. I don't like to hear that stuff, but man, I can handle a little bit. But as much as they did it in this season, I'm like, were y'all just trying to get away with as much as you could? I mean, why make that call?
I know we were sitting there like, you know how they did it in volumes, volume 1, 2, and then the finale. You waited for all of them and binged them in hours. But me and Heather was on like episode 2. And I think she said something like, they're cussing an awful lot this season, aren't they? And I was like, I was wondering if I was the only one that noticed. And a lot of it came from Robin.
And one of my least favorite characters. Well, that's the thing is, he watched it as it goes. I hated it as soon as I found out that they were going to spread it out. I hate that.
Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead. I used to love The Walking Dead, but I could not stand when they started separating the seasons and stuff. With that being said, though, it just seems like I binge watched them all on New Year's Eve. Me and my wife sat down and started the first episode at 10 o'clock, and we did not get done until 7:41 the next morning. We didn't plan on doing that either. That's what was crazy about it.
So it kept you engaged enough to was like, well, start the next one.
Yeah, I mean,
the next one.
It really did. It did. It kept my attention to where, you know, we didn't plan on watching it all that. We didn't plan on watching all of it that night, but I didn't want no spoilers for me because you knew everybody was going to run rampant on social media.
Was you waiting for my phone call to give you the go ahead?
Yeah, because he, like I said, he will sit down and watch it as it goes. And I told him, I was like, look, if they do one thing in there that I don't like, I'm not going to watch it. And just to be 100% real, it was like, if they start turning characters in different directions, I wasn't going to watch it because it would ruin the whole series for me. And he hit me up later that night and he was like, you got to watch it. I was like, all right. So me and my wife started it. But yeah, me and my wife noticed that the GDs were just too much. And what bothers me about that is they don't consider that cuss words. A lot of places don't.
Yeah, it's just on basic cable anymore.
And I don't like the fact that Stranger Things, yes, it's got monsters and stuff, but a lot of kids watch this stuff. His daughters, my nieces, just started watching it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2025. And, their little ears don't need to hear that, the GD so much. And that I know it don't mean a lot to some people, but to me, it was enough to where I noticed it. And then, like you said, you noticed it. But that was my major negative. My second one was I didn't like the way they handled Dustin in this season. Like, I did like that. I get that he was really rebellious because of what happened to Eddie and stuff, but you don't want to see him and Steve fight the whole season.
Yeah, he was like grieving because he didn't want something to happen to Steve.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
And Steve didn't realize that till the was it the last episode or the episode before?
A couple episodes.
Yeah,
yeah.
But and Dustin's always been my favorite character.
Yeah,
I really like Dustin. And I did not like the fact that the main character was Will this whole season. I like Will. I like all the kids. But I just felt like if this was going to be the finale, I feel like Eleven and Mike should have been more of the main focus.
When I was talking to you too, I told you there were some people that kind of got sidelined. Like I didn't really 11 didn't do a whole lot this season until the last couple episodes.
Right.
That was one of my my main things. But then, like you was talking about with Will being kind of in the forefront, didn't bother me too bad because in season 3 and 4, he was sidelined. He didn't do much of anything the last couple of seasons.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I like the character, and I thought they really handled his character really well. Like, I got chills when he started realizing that he could
tap into the hive mind.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. So it ain't nothing against him. It was just I just feel like I wish they would have used 11 and Mike more because it seemed like their dynamic in this season really wasn't there because they didn't really. They just look like good friends the entire season. And then, of course, spoiler alert, the finale when 11's leaving, then they acted like a couple.
Yeah.
You know?
It was more, really, they didn't have too many scenes together outside of a rooftop scene and a couple little snippets here and there.
Yeah. But, and I know I'm probably the only one that thinks this way, but I told Carolyn after, because she liked the season too, but after it's all said and done, I told Carolyn, I was like, man, I hated that there was 5 seasons and it was 10, and it took 10 years to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, honestly, the show would have been a little bit more meaningful and better if the kids would have stayed actual kids.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that they were doing all the big production and they were trying to, I know it costs a lot to do that.
I think I seen something online yesterday that said this last season took them a year to shoot.
So, and it's one of those, you look back at season 1 and see how cute they were. They were just young kids. And then you look at them now and I'm like, I just feel like it would have meant more to see little 11 and little Mike and all of them. Not saying like when they first started at 12, but like around season 3, I thought that would have been the perfect age to end it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now they're 20-year-olds playing 17, 18-year-olds. And I just...
At least it wasn't like Grease where they look like they're clearly 30 and they're supposed to be 18.
Well, I was kind of scared before they announced this was going to be the last season. I always go back to Family Matters. Steve Urkel was hilarious when he was young. When he was a 20-year-old trying to be Stefan and act all that stuff, I was like, okay, you've ran your course.
Yeah.
But really, I think that's my only negatives is the language was rough. Like I said, it's not a knock on Will, but I wish they could have had more screen time, 11 and Mike together. I did like that 11 and um, Hopper worked together in this
Yeah.
season. I did like that. Uh, Another negative, last thing, is the most useless character was Linda Hamilton. She didn't do squat.
I thought you was going to say Mr. Wheeler.
No, no, no.
He's just
I like
a
Mr. Wheeler.
spot in the recliner anymore. Yeah, I thought she was going to do more. And kind of spoiler alert, one thing that I wish she had like kind of met her demise in the Upside Down. That's where her little headquarters was.
Mm-hmm.
Like she should have got torn apart by like a Demogorgon, or when the thing explodes or something, she should have been in there.
Yeah, something.
She just vanished.
And I know I've seen a lot of people say that there was a lot of unanswered questions. Well, there's some of them that we didn't need answers to. But now my positives, I will say that I feel like it was paced pretty well. I know somebody said that I was watching a review where they were like, I think it was episode 4 and 5. They said it was just filler, but I still like the way they handled things. Um, I know they're kind of, to me, it reminded me of Dexter. They were so scared to kill any of the main characters.
Yeah.
I never want you to convince me once that any of the kids were going to die. I didn't think Lucas, Mike, Dustin, or Will was going to die. I knew that was a given. Me and you had talked about 11, and I seen where the brothers, what are they called, the Duffer Brothers? I seen where they said it was never intent on 11 staying with the group.
Yeah.
But like, I was really waiting for a big death scene in this.
Yeah, I thought somebody would bite the dust. Like, just like you said, the cast got so freaking big, and it's like somebody's got to go. Like, I would have liked to seen Eddie stick around for a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
But like little side characters that get introduced, they'll kill them off.
Yeah.
If you're in the army, you're as good as dead. But like any of the main cast, it just keeps growing and nobody's dying.
Yeah, and overall, like I said, I enjoyed the season, but I will say I think the best character development over all the seasons is Nancy.
Yeah, went from being shy little Nancy to, have you seen the memes where she's got the Rambo hair?
Yeah. I love Nancy. I think she does a great job.
One of my buddies said, I wish we would have got like a spinoff with Nancy in the Upside Down or the Abyss or something kind of Mad Max style. Like, well, that would have worked, but all this girl power stuff that's come out the last 5 years, most of it fell on its face. So it's like that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
it didn't need to happen either.
But what was your take on this season?
Some of the negatives, like I said a while ago, with it wasn't that I didn't like Linda Hamilton's character. It's just she didn't do a whole lot. I feel like, it showed her cutting on the little whatever that little dimmer thing was, and then they had it in the little thing where she could make it cooler or hotter, and it was choking out Hop.
Yeah,
I thought that might come into play at some point, like maybe them vines would start moving. Nothing really came of that. Like I said, nothing even happened to her. You don't hear a thing after the whole 11 scene. Just gone.
Yeah, everything's back to normal.
Yeah, it's like, a year and a half later, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Where'd everybody go? Nothing came of that at all. I'm trying to think. There was something else. I've seen some people, because I watched a lot of the reviews and stuff because I want to do the deep dive, and because people noticed stuff I didn't. When they were in the Abyss, didn't even cross my mind, but like, where were all the Demogorgons and Demidogs and all that? Like, they talked about how, well, this is how they're getting from this world to this world, but once they crawled up in there, nothing. Right. It was just Vecna and the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
So that would have been, give them something to do besides just walking for 20 minutes. Have them, fight off some of them or something. They had the stuff to do it.
I know. I can't remember if I read it for somebody from the cast, if it was just a comment somebody put, but they said that the reason we didn't see it was because Vecna really never thought that they would enter that part.
Yeah, I could see that too. That's what I'm saying. Like, even, I'm sure we'll talk about it here in a little bit, like the whole 11 thing. I like the way they ended it with her. But I figure we'll get into that.
I mean, you can get into it now, whatever, because I'm not going to go scene by scene, but I just, I like the finale.
Mhm.
I thought they wrapped it up very well. I didn't realize it till after we watched it, but after the fight scene, the big finale where they kill Vecna, you still had an hour left.
Yeah,
I was like, golly.
like just a little epilogue was like 40 something minutes.
But they were wrapping everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, and to me, I don't feel like anybody can say, well, they rushed everything.
That was a complaint online too. They rush. They rush. It's like
They gave them an hour to wrap everything up.
yeah, I was fine with it for the most part. And you kind of mentioned it earlier too with Will and the Hive Mind.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was awesome because when Vecna comes back out and they kept talking, I think that threw some people off too, where you're going to see the most gruesome death this season.
Mm-hmm.
When they said that, I think most people's mine included, went to like somebody in the main cast going to get brutally killed.
Yeah.
And at first I thought it was going to be Mrs. Wheeler because
I know.
she got cut all up. I was like, man, like maybe this is what they're talking about. Nope. Vecna come out of that little thing the first time, and that one army dude was on the ground. He just stuck it through his face. I was like, oh, that had to be it.
that had to be.
Yeah.
That was another thing and because I do like Mike's parents,
mm-hmm.
but I thought they were dead, and they were even scared to kill them too off.
Yeah.
I really thought that they were going to be dead.
Yeah.
But
did you know it was Will when the Demogorgon was like in the air and like?
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah. I think I don't know if it was Heather or one of the girls thought 11 had did it, and it took me a second. I was like, it's freaking Mike.
No, Will.
Or yeah, Will. And yeah, like as soon as I saw him, I was like, he looks like a deadite.
Yeah.
With the wide eyes, and then him just and then crunching them like Vecna was doing. I was like, that's badass. Like that's cool.
One thing that I will say that I feel kind of drug a little bit, but like I said, it didn't make it go down for me like the points or nothing, but was Max's whole story development where she was at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I liked that she was alive and all that stuff, but even that, again, they were scared to kill off a main character. Like, why is she just so happened to be in that world, after everything that happened to Chrissy in season 4
mm-hmm.
and all the other ones that got twisted and their eyes all messed up? Why did she just happen to be the one that was like, oh?
That was going to be one of my negatives. I forgot. Like, not Max in general, but like, technically, they killed Max at the end of 4, and then 11 brings her back. That was never mentioned again. Like,
mm-hmm.
How did she do it? Like, did she do the Neo thing from like where he goes inside Trinity's chest and pumps her heart or something? It never showed it, never mentioned it, nothing.
Yeah.
So I wish they would have answered something with that.
Another thing that I wish we could have seen, the bullies get their butt wore out for beating up Dustin.
Oh,
that was just completely dropped.
Yeah.
And hey, Dustin handled himself pretty good for a minute, There was something else, and I already had people on my Facebook being like, "What's wrong with you?" I don't like Robin. I thought she did good in season 3 when she worked at the ice cream shop,
mm-hmm.
but I just don't like her character.
I like Robin, but she got a little annoying this season. Yeah, kind of what you said. She just yep.
Oh my gosh!
All the time.
And when they stuck her on the radio,
mm-hmm.
the Rock and Robin, I was like, oh my gosh! Like she was already season 3. She was cool. 4, I could handle her a little bit, and I get that she's supposed to be the character that just does this,
mm-hmm.
but I'm like, oh my gosh! Like I know for a fact when I go back and watch this season, I'll fast forward a lot of her stuff. And I was hoping she was going to get it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not, because I was like, get rid of some of the characters, because that's what a lot of these seasons do.
And at the end of once we watched 4, I made a couple of predictions on that one. I said when 5 starts, I said we'll either see 11 fly, which kind of did, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't straight up fly. I thought she was going to straight up like Superman it around, because they dropped that line 2 or 3 times in season 4. And I said her and or Will would sacrifice themselves. I thought Will might be, because he's tied to the whole upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen some people comment on that too, how when they killed Vecna in the Mind Flare, Will was linked to that. Like, why did it not affect him?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I didn't think about that in the moment, but it's like, that's true. because he was spying on him and this and that. So he still had that connection, but like, why did that not affect Will?
I don't know. And that's another thing we'll go ahead and get on real quick is I know a lot of people, and I've seen where people were like, oh, it was woke because Will came out gay in this season. They hinted about that, I think, in the second season when Mike looked at him and said, it ain't my fault you don't like girls.
Yeah.
When Will was getting, they've hinted around about that. I will say the only problem that I had was the scene where he came out was longer than the actual fight scene with Vecna and
L.
Yeah. Somebody timed it legit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my thing is as soon as I get that he needed to come out or whatever, but I'm like, are you like Spider-Man 2 where you can't shoot web because you didn't tell Mary Jane you love her or what? Like that was just, and I almost got a It Chapter 2 feeling where he's like, we're not afraid of you no more, you know. Pennywise shrunk into a marshmallow.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, we're not afraid of you anymore. Like I said, the whole Will thing coming out, okay, but it didn't need to be a freaking 6-7 minute dialogue, and it was just like, come on.
Even some of the stuff I've seen online, like talking about that, a lot of them be like, I haven't watched the show in a couple of seasons. It's like, then why are you watching this clip? Because you're taking it completely out of context.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, I don't watch a lot of that crap either, where it's just in your face. But I told you, it's like he had to do that so Vecna couldn't hold it over him. It wasn't like it was shoehorned in.
And my only thing, and this is what me and him was talking about when I told him he better let me know or I ain't watching it. I was scared they were going to make Mike go gay and go with Will. And I was like, that would not make no sense.
Yeah.
That would ruin it. And I seen a thing where it's funny because, you know, when they all get their happy ending, they're talking about what year it is and everything. And then I seen where it was like poor Will, and it shows him in a bar, and there's Jeffrey Dahmer behind him. But no, I think people blew that way out of the water. Mm-hmm. And like I said, to me, if you ain't watched it, then you don't get opinion on it.
Yeah,
you know, but
you don't know all the backstory. You don't know, what's been going on between A and B.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It was way overblown. Like I said, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, and like I said, it ain't like they just threw it in the last season. They led up to it. Yeah. From season 2, they hinted about it. So, I mean, it was like...
Even season 1, I think, episode 1, they talk about how kids were bullying him, calling him gay and stuff like that. So, from the beginning, yeah, it was there.
Well, and the reason that I feel like they brought it in there is because in the 80s, it wasn't something you just came out and was like, hey, where now, everybody turns that way, one way or another, it seems like. But no, like I said, I think they handled it good. I just wish that it didn't take freaking 7 or 8 minutes.
They could have cut a couple minutes.
Yeah. I thought Hopper did good. I really liked his character in this season. Steve, I know Steve's like the fan favorite, and when he started to fall, and everybody's like, oh, as soon as it went black, I was like, no, they're not gonna leave that off. And I like the fact that it was Jonathan that held him. Mm-hmm. I really like that Jonathan and Steve worked together in this season, and it's not that they worked together. I like that they had scenes together.
Yeah, they really hadn't they didn't at all really in 4.
Yeah,
and if they did in 3, it wasn't much. So I did like that. They mixed it up a lot this season. Like, even I know you said you didn't like Robin, but like they took Robin and Will and kind of made them a little duo there for a little bit.
Yeah,
I liked seeing them mix up instead of just the same people running around all the time.
No, I do too, and that's like I really like the scene where Jonathan and Nancy thought they were fixing to die, and they all come clean. They come clean together.
Yep.
I thought that was, a really good scene. But one of the scenes that actually, like, I guess you could say broke me down. I never cried or nothing, but, you're like, oh, man.
I know what it was.
Is where Dustin tells, where they got in a fight, and then Dustin tells Steve, quit. Why are you trying to kill yourself? Why are you always doing this? Because he set a ladder over the steps that were melting, and he knew he wasn't going to make it. And he was like, I can't lose somebody else. I can't lose nobody else, especially you. And hugged him, and then it made Steve realize that, oh man, he can't. This is how he's handling this, and I really like that scene. Which, like I said, to me, Dustin's a heart and soul to me of Stranger Things. I don't know his real name, but I think he's
Getting,
a great actor. The scene where Eddie died in season 4, when he's screaming Eddie and stuff, and he's crying, that's what broke me. So yeah, and I was go ahead to skip forward. I was so happy that he paid homage to Eddie when he was graduating. He did everything Eddie said he was going to do.
and that was the person like you didn't really expect it from either. I think that's why it stuck out so much.
Yeah, because when he was what was he, valedictorian or whatever? When he was up there giving a speech, I was like, oh, that's a pretty good speech. And then when he started turning over and they started playing Iron Maiden, I was like, oh, and he had that Hellfire Lives. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Dustin and Steve were like my favorites on there because like when I was rewatching it with my girls this go around, they didn't say much, but I was like, "What do you think about Steve?" Like he's kind of mean. I was like, "Just give it time," because I forgot how much of a kind of a douche he was in season 1.
Oh yeah,
until like the last episode or two, and they turned him around, and then he instantly was like fan favorite.
Yeah,
because he became like the what they call him, the babysitter.
Yeah,
or whatever of the kids.
And I love that when what's the new guy, the chubby kid,
Derek.
Yeah. Now, once again, I feel like they had a lot of language this season, and I can't stand Erica. She's one of the characters I wish they'd never even introduced. But when they was calling him Dip, you know what? I like when she said, "And you're not Dip, Derek," and he was like, "No, I'm Delightful Derek," and he hung up. I thought his character was funny. I thought he did a good job, but I love the end when they save him. And did you notice Steve was wiping his glasses off with his bandana?
Oh, yeah.
And then he puts them on him and he just grips Steve. I like the fact that they left Steve where Steve's staying in Hawkins and he's he don't have kids, but he's taking care and watching out for other kids. I like that because that's his calling. He didn't
want to be the babysitter all the time, but that's kind of what he ends up being.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we see that Dustin goes to college, but then him and Steve are still friends, and they're going on a road trip. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That little Derek kid too. He's going to be at that Nashville con that we went to back in like April or February, or whatever it was. And one of my friends loves that character, and I was like, I kind of hope he gets 8. Like he just, I don't know, he kind of annoyed me. Like he grew on me a little bit, but it was just like I could have done with or without him. Like he didn't really add anything to the story.
No,
it was just like,
no, like he won't go down as one of my favorites or nothing. But I did like when he had the ruler and he was like, he was hitting everybody to go down there. So here's a few things we're gonna point out. I'll point one out, you can point one out because me and him already kind of talked. I want to know how Max graduated. This girl was in a coma for 2 years and still graduated.
She put in the work in that last year and a half, I guess. Catching up.
You can go ahead with yours.
Which one did I send you?
Derek.
I just said something about Derek.
The poo. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, yeah, when they're going through the cave. And the first time when Holly and Max went through there, they had to squeeze through. And then Holly brings all the other kids down there. It's like, just go through there and wait for me. Immediately, I was like, Derek's not getting through that.
That's what I told Carolyn. I was like, he ain't gonna fit through there.
I told Heather, I said, it's Winnie the Pooh in the tree trunk. He's not going through that. And they never even addressed that.
No. That was somebody we forgot to talk about, Holly.
She did great.
I thought she did really good in this season.
And I watched like the first episode. I was like, that girl looks so familiar. Did you look her up?
Mm-mm.
She was a little girl off of Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, the one where
one of
the mom looks, the mom looks in and she's like, "Open the door, sweetie."
Yeah,
that was her.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you: is she the real Holly from season 1?
I don't think so. I think I seen something online where they brought in somebody else. I don't know if just somebody with more experience or what. But
so she never played Holly in any of the seasons.
I don't think so.
I have to check that out because I could have swore I seen where she was in like season 3 or something, but I may be wrong. But Holly did good, and a lot of people don't realize Vecna saved that girl. Because when she was falling out of that sky,
get over here.
Yeah, I mean, how are they going to save her? She was just going to smash it to the ground. So
that was a big positive too. Like a lot of people, I didn't know there was a Stranger Things play that is canon that tells the whole story of Henry Creel. But yeah, 11 or not 11.
Holly.
Vecna,
Oh,
Henry Krill, whatever you want to call him, Mr. Watson. I thought he did amazing this season. He was a big part of everything.
yeah.
He kind of played three different parts if you think
I
about it.
love his look as Vecna in this one.
Yeah, and when he got
He reminded me of a
ticked
Super
off,
Shredder.
yeah, when he got ticked and he had that side eye and his eyes were all red and stuff, like you could see he was intense in those moments.
Yeah. Going back to Holly and Max, like I said, I like their journey together, but I've seen a lot of people say that it was stupid that Max didn't run to get out,
Oh,
but she didn't want to leave Holly.
that was another scene that was just way too long.
Yes, and I get that she was trying to comfort her and stuff, but yeah, that was another scene where I was just like, "Come on, how long are they going to keep that door open for you?" You know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and as always, I think her and Lucas really did good together.
Yeah, they got good chemistry. They
Yeah.
always did.
But yeah, like some of the questions that a lot of people are asking is like, what happened to Robin's girlfriend? We don't need to know. I mean, it was supposed to be they all moved off, so we don't need to know that. And then everybody, the big clue is, did 11 die? And it's from your interpretation. It's what you want to think. Like I know I did see where like on Hellfire Lives, the dice says 11 on it. It's got the number 11.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah. And then if you look at Hellfire Lives, when he's got his his sash on, they're taking pictures. It's covering the H and it says ELL and it says lives, L lives, and all that stuff. So
Heather was talking about that the other day too, and I haven't seen that picture. You'll have to show me when we're down here. But yeah, because like when it first happened, and I looked at it like, well, she sacrificed herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's dead. And then Mike told the little story at the end. That got me too. Everybody saying goodbye for the final time and stuff. And then, he's like, how do we know if that's true? And he's like, I like to believe it is. And then they all teary-eyed and stuff. And I believe it is. I believe. That was a really good scene. But like the more stuff I've watched, I kind of think she lived because I'm sure you've seen some of this. I've probably sent you some of the stuff. But like when she was in that black, the void talking to Mike, her nose wasn't bleeding. When they had those speaker things, that was like her kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't do anything around even one of them, and they had several pointing, and she was just standing there. So, like, the more you see that, is like, maybe she was already long gone and in a tunnel when she did that or something.
Well, my thing is I feel like she disappeared when she took the exhale and when she and the stuff went by. It didn't show her getting thrown. She disappeared. She faded off. And I seen where they were talking about it was her sister that did it.
Kali, yeah.
Well, that wouldn't work either because the building that Kali was in, it exploded, so she wouldn't have been able to hold it that long. She would have been dead, But
I seen a thing where she faked that whole scene where like she never actually was shot. She made it look like she was because Hop went to leave to get bandages and came back, and then she was dead. And then 11 didn't have blood on her hands. There's all kinds of stuff out there.
So, I don't know. My theory is I feel like 11 is actually off living where the little town was with the 3 waterfalls and all that, because I'm like you. How did she have any powers if all that stuff was around her?
Yeah.
And Mike's the one that noticed it when they were at school when the speakers were going off,
like doing the feedback.
Yeah, he was like, But that does suck because Mike's the only one that didn't get a happy ending.
Yeah. I wonder if it's one of them things I was just thinking of yesterday. Like, I was watching somebody's reaction to that scene, and it was like, you remember in season 3 where she was tapping in and watching the boys in the basement? Like, I wonder if she's just going to go the rest of her life and just check in on them.
Yeah.
Like, she could.
But that's the thing is Lucas and Max, I guess, stayed together. I don't know if Lucas and Max was going to college. I don't remember what they said about them. We know Dustin went to college. Will Did he go to college?
I don't know. I think he said that I think he said he went to Milwaukee, and while things were different, he learned to adapt or something like that. He didn't say anything about school.
And then, but like I said, and Mike's the only one that's. I mean, yeah, I like the fact that he's a storyteller. I do
Mm-hmm.
like that. But it's. And did you notice that he had L's picture on the desk?
I didn't until like the next day, and I seen people, screenshotting it and stuff.
But yeah, he didn't get a happy ending though. Like I don't know that kind of. But no, I overall I think that they wrapped it up nicely. Wasn't the best season, but overall I feel like it was a great finale. I don't have any complaints about the finale as far as like the fight scene and stuff because I thought that was pretty cool, and I love the fact that Joyce stepped up at the end.
That was awesome.
Yes, when he was laying there with the rock coming out of him, and he was spitting up blood, and it showed Joyce. I looked at Carolyn. I was like, she about to pull that axe off, and I didn't expect her to say you effed with the wrong family,
Yeah,
but I did. I like that, and I liked that every time she hit him, it was showing like it shot to Lucas, and it was showing what he went through with Max, and then it went to Will and all this stuff. I like that how it was just like all this pain and suffering that you caused us, and it wasn't just one whack. I mean,
she hit that dude like 10 times in the neck before his head come off.
yeah,
But yeah, that was an awesome scene. We were sitting there, and I was like, "Get him, Joyce!"
yeah.
She earned that one.
But it was funny because after the whole fight scene was over, before that,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at Carolyn and I was like, Joyce didn't even do anything because she had her axe that she was holding Will.
Yeah,
And then when they walked in and he was doing that, I was like, oh, buddy. But no, like I said, man, yeah, like I said, Stranger Things did not have a bad season.
no, I don't think so either.
I will be a future episode. I'm going to be putting and the seasons in order from worst to best. It's just going to be my ranking because I've got some comments I would like to throw on the other seasons. But no, like I said, this was my least favorite. But I think because to me, I like it when the kids are younger. And a couple of the other seasons really captured like more of the 80s style,
Mm-hmm.
where this one was just as soon as the season started, they were already. It was such a serious season. There wasn't a whole lot of laugh
Yeah,
and stuff. There wasn't a lot of ha ha moments, you know. And I feel like they tried to give that sometimes to Robin, but she just didn't pull it off for me.
there was the scene in the Hawkins lab when they're in the Upside Down with Hop, L, and Kaylee,
Yeah,
and when the guy's got Kaylee on the ground, he's like, "I'm gonna ask one more time," and then the thing Murray blows up the helicopter. Did that scene remind you of anything? When like she's struggling to get down the hallway because the thing just
I guess it ain't hit me.
Logan.
Logan.
When Professor X is having a seizure in that casino and he's going down the hallway struggling, and then it's like the slow motion thing where he takes up that whole room and he's like, shh.
It's on Logan?
Yeah.
Dude, I've watched it one time. I don't remember
That's
that.
the first thing that popped in my head because once everybody stood up, it was just. And then
Oh.
she made old dude shoot himself.
Yeah, I did like that. He was the most annoying character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, kill him, dude. And I liked how she got in his mind when him and Hopper, or her and Hopper was interrogating him.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I really like the scenes with her and Hopper.
Yeah. They did a lot. I was happy to see them kind of duo off too, because that's another one. The last couple of years, they've been off doing their own thing. So it was cool to see like a father-daughter duo.
And one thing, did you notice Will didn't tell her he loved her
Who
at 11? She said, I love you. And he never said it back, and they just kissed.
I don't guess I've noticed it.
But no, man, overall, your final grade for the season.
Doing ABC?
Yeah.
I would give it. I'd probably give it a B minus, because I think I even asked Heather and the girls. Heather and Riley both said this was their favorite season, but it might be one of those recency bias things too. But I think my favorite was probably 3, maybe 4, and then Bailey, of course, I think liked 4 because she likes Eddie.
It's funny you said that. I was going with a B minus.
Yeah.
I mean, and that should tell y'all when I do my ranking, my least favorite season is getting a B minus.
Yeah.
But no, man, like I said, I don't know. I'm happy with the way it ended. I'm happy how everybody ended up. I do wish Mike could have got more of a happier ending, but I'm gonna choose that 11 is still out there fulfilling that life she wanted in the small town with the 3 waterfalls.
Did you see
stuff.
what the spinoff is supposed to be about?
No, I don't want to see a spinoff.
Supposedly they're supposed to fill in some gaps and questions and whatnot, but Henry, when he picked up the rock in the cave, is supposed to be set back in that time period.
Oh, okay.
So it's not going to have anything to do with Hawkins. It's not going to have anything to do with this cast. It's its own thing.
I knew that. I knew that they were going. The Duffer Brothers said they're working on a spinoff, and it wasn't going to have nothing to do with this cast. Which I'm like, good.
Yeah, leave them alone. They all had a good ending. Leave it.
I will
put a bow on everything. Leave it be.
I will say, like, what they say, did it take 2 years to make this season, or it was like 2 years or 3 years to put out? I can't remember how they worded it.
Like the gap between 4 and 5, I think it was 3, and then I think what I said earlier, I think they said it took like a year to shoot this season.
And to me, that's the only thing that ruined it for me, is because they were just so much older this season, and I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, another thing we didn't really touch on. Hop and Joyce got their little happily ever after too.
Oh yeah, they all got it.
They finally got their little dinner at Enzo's.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool too.
Well, that is mine and my brother's review on Stranger Things. Like I said, it has come to an end. It started in 2016.
So
yeah, and I don't know. It was a heck of a journey, heck of a ride, and man, just some really good writing and another great television show. So that is all from us. Leave some comments. Let us know what y'all feel is the best season, what you didn't like about this season. Do you think 11 is still alive, or does she sacrifice herself? Either way, that's just y'all's opinion, right? Everybody's entitled to it. So with that being said, God bless each and every one of you, and until next time.